Over the past 5 decades, Kylie Minogue has sold over 80 million records, had over 40 UK hits, and reinvented herself countless times. We've been celebrating the Princess of Pop and telling the remarkable story over several eras here on BBC Radio 2. And now it's time to hear from Kylie herself. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you.
If I had told you when you'd finished recording your version of The Locomotion back in 87, that we would be sitting here together over 35 years later with you just having released one of the biggest hits of your career, what would you have said to me?
I could not have fathomed ever being, I was 18, 19. So I recorded it just as a demo. So I wasn't signed to a label at all. And then when I got my first record deal, the demo vocals were kept and the production was revamped by Mike Duffy. So, yeah, I wouldn't have even dared to dream of anything like that. I loved seeing it in other people, in other artists. I mean, I was a Prince maniac, Whitney Houston, Madonna, just a lot of British bands from the early 80s when I became a kind of pop maniac. But did I think that I would have this kind of career? I wouldn't say no. I just don't think it occurred to me that would be the path that I would take.
And you would certainly never think that you are now one of the UK's and the world's best loved pop stars.
Yeah.
That must be crazy to you.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's daunting. It's all sorts of things. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to still have the opportunity and to be able to actually take this opportunity to look back a bit, because I'm normally so focused on going forward that I don't often stop and kind of take stock.
When you think about what's happened this year, is it comparable to the Neighbours and the first Kylie mania that you experienced at the end of the 80s?
Maybe, yeah. I guess perhaps if social media was around then, it would. I mean, I can only imagine the Neighbours hysteria if there was social media. I mean, or hey, it would have been different anyway, because that was part of the, why people loved and can't forget it, because who could set their VCR to record? Basically nobody. So, you had to be there on time, you had to watch the episode. But yeah, I think the kind of reach of what's happening at the minute, I suppose, could be compared to that, which is just mind-blowing, really.
Thinking back on that transition from soap star to pop star, were you confident that it would go as well as it did?
I don't know.
We had Jason Donovan on my show recently, and he said that when you were on set, for him, it was clear that it was written in the stars for you.
Oh, that's really kind. I would have to agree to a point, because I think a lot of it is destiny. Of course, it's hard work and it's choices you make. Some of it has to be destiny, just has to be.
Yeah. It's Scott Mills back with more from Kylie after Coldplay on Radio 2. That's Paradise on Radio 2. You're listening to my chat with Kylie Minogue ahead of her headline set at Radio 2 in the Park this weekend. Kylie, in the 90s, you really reinvented your image. Was that an important time for you?
I can't imagine being here today without that, even if it wasn't as shiny or as successful, but I think it was essential. I remember with Impossible Princess, it was like there was a real thrill in not being absolutely pitch perfect on something. It was like, yeah, be a bit loose,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to express myself a little differently and be a truer reflection of what I was into and what was around me at the time.
I wonder if we can just go into the collaborations that were rumoured to have happened. So there was rumours of a Madonna duet for years.
Yeah, I did
Was that
record
just
a
a
Madonna
rumour?
song that wasn't released.
Right.
Not with her, but it was a song of hers. The rumour's been going around forever, and let's hope it happens one day.
There were also rumours of a Prince duet, I remember, at one point.
That I can tell you about.
Okay.
I went to see his show, Diamonds and Pearls, at Earl's Court, And when I say I'm a Prince fan, just, you don't understand. I love him. And I got to meet him after the show. Firstly, I'd never seen him live before, so that was an experience in itself. I don't know where I plucked up the courage from, but somewhere at some point in time I said, oh, maybe he said, what are you doing? What are you working on? I'm working on a new album. Oh, I'd love to, I don't even know what words. It was like an out-of-body experience.
But you said it.
I said it. And so we hung out a bit and I went to Minneapolis but before that, I think he was naturally a bit of a wind-up. And he said, I was like, where are your lyrics? I was like, I don't. Anyway, so it's a blur. I don't know how it happened. I mean, it's all landline calls to, him or his person. I can't remember. But I got some lyrics to him, and then I had delivered to me by his driver a cassette of Prince. He was just such a workaholic and knocked up this song called Baby Doll. It's me home alone in my apartment in London receiving this cassette.
A cassette from Prince.
It was a moment. And it's typical, those moments. There's no one there to share it with.
No.
So nothing ever happened to that, but I would love it one day if his estate would grant me permission to do something with it. That would be amazing.
So it exists somewhere.
It exists. I don't know where my cassette is, which is travesty, really. It'll appear somewhere.
BBC Radio 2, Scott Mills.
You look like fun to me. You look a little like somebody I know, and I can tell you how this ends. I'll be in your head all weekend. Shivers and butterflies. I got the shivers when I look into your eyes, and I can tell that you're all in, 'cause I can hear your heart beating. I hear it and I know. I know you wanna take me home. And get to know me close. When your heart goes. I hear it and I know. I know you wanna take me home. And take off all my clothes. When your heart goes. This place is crowded up. I think it's time for you to take me out this club. But we don't need to use our words. I wanna see what's underneath that t-shirt. Shivers and cold champagne. I get the shivers every time you say my name. And I can tell that you're all in, 'cause I can hear your heart beating. 'Cause I can hear your heart beating. I hear it and I know. I know you wanna take me home. And get to know me close. When your heart goes. I hear it and I know. I know you wanna take me home. And take off all my clothes. When your heart goes.
It's Scott Mills chatting to Kylie Minogue on BBC Radio 2. That was your smash hit, Padam. What do you think it is about that song that got everyone hooked?
Well, I was hooked when I first heard it. I love that it's 2 minutes 30 something. So that is part of its modernity.
Yeah.
I think it sounds like one of the main kind of strains of me, the superhighway of
Absolutely.
Kylie's songs. And that the verse is, you look like fun.
Yeah.
People know that.
Well, you can't hang
And
around in
beyond
pop
that,
songs anymore, can you?
No, you can't. you can't. But so the song, I loved the song. I loved the song. But what it ended up doing and being this zeitgeist kind of way bigger than me or bigger than the song, what it became was crazy.
It kind of came out of nowhere though, and everyone was like, "Whoa!" And it is the sound of this summer. For me, there is no other track.
It was just so exciting to see it unravel. And that's the difference with these days, like before my eyes. I've never had a kind of viral sensation like that. So it was not something that I thought was my zone. And it turns out it's a really happy place to be.
Looking back at everything you've accomplished, is there one thing that stands out as your proudest achievement? That's a big question.
It's a really big question. I would say just maintaining my faith in everyone. You know, that I get to meet a lot of different people and have them colour my life, and that helps me do what I do. So that's a really terrible answer to the question. What am I most proud of? I'm just, being here and being a good person, I hope. That is what I'd be most proud of.
Finally, the Radio 2 audience voted Can't Get You Out of My Head as their ultimate Kylie song. What's your favourite Kylie song?
Oh, God. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I didn't think I was going to get an answer.
It's a question I don't know. Scott Mills, I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were going to say one then.
Which one? I
thought you were going to say Can't Get You Out of My Head.
It's one of them.
One of the hits. That narrows it down.
No, you asked me what was my favourite.
Yeah.
I can't choose.
Jason Donovan's was Hand on Your Heart.
Great way to wrap up the interview, Minogue. Did he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's hard.
I mean, I've got new ones you haven't even heard yet.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true.
Maybe
it's in there.
Maybe it's in there. But I would love them for different reasons. Now I'm trying to justify my non-answer.
Kylie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you haven't heard Era's Kylie Minogue, our 5-part podcast telling Kylie's story, then head to BBC Sounds. All you have to do is search Kylie.
How exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you.